Hard to walk through my own mental space. Nature held in harmony all around. Beautiful flowers, they decorate the ground. Reflections perfected in quiet streams. Classify misdirection from inner
I have a song
dreams.
for you guys. I'd like to do a little melody of. I wish I could pull out a harmonica right here and just do a little note.
I wish we had a harmonica.
As a bit.
You got what I need, and you say you're just a friend, and you say you're just a friend.
Oh, baby, you.
R.I.P. Bismarcky.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Start off with one of those. I don't know much about him other than that
Yeah,
song,
I
if I'm
know.
being completely honest. We were all born in the 90s. And we don't know shit about shit, really.
You know what my earliest rap song was? I wish I was a little bit taller.
Okay.
I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her.
Mm.
Wish I had a rabbit and a hat.
My first rap song was probably Tiny Tempa, Written in the Stars, featuring David Guetta. That's a blast from the past.
Mine was
UK, bro? UK, bruv?
iPod stuck on replay.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a rap
I mean,
song.
that's
Remember those
R&B.
The first time I heard that song was during those commercials. Weirdly enough, on like a children's TV or whatever, where it would be like, text this number, you can get this song.
Yeah, the
as your
ringtone
as your
commercials.
ringtone.
Those were... Oh, man, I miss those.
Those are crazy.
I don't remember what you guys are talking about. Ringtone
Those
commercials?
Yeah, it was just like a list of, like, ringtones you could, like, call a number and purchase, like, right then.
Yeah.
They played, like, a few of them.
Huh.
You don't recall?
No.
Oh, that's depressing.
They have like Lil Jon on that?
Probably, shit. I just recently also found out that I am technically Gen Z, so I'm kind of on the down low this episode. I'm kind of down bad this episode, so... Even though I had a sneaking suspicion, but it wasn't until we officially looked it up where I'm like, damn, y'all are millennials and I'm Gen Z. And now the rift between us has never been larger.
I don't even think that's legit. Like, it says 96, and I'm like, what does that mean? Like,
There's not a specific
96?
point.
I
I don't know.
Like, all these labels don't even matter
Yeah.
anyway.
I'm an aging millennial, I would say.
I'm a trap
Even-
star.
It's only because I act older than I really am. People think I'm in like my 30s. But really,
That's just because you're unkept most of the time.
yeah, you're right.
I'm fucking around, bro.
Unkept.
You're looking good, dog. You got the beard.
Hi, I'm Unkept. We should introduce ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
No one will ever love me, and I'm a child.
So introduce me for once. I always introduce you. You do the
This
introductions
is
this time.
Bluebeard, a.k.a. ashamed of his former meme rap identity and now transitioning into being a model.
That's true.
And I thought you were about to sneeze or
No, I was
puke or
acting
something
scared
there.
in front of the camera. I was trying to show off my range.
Right, yeah. I'm also an actor. Hire me.
Yeah,
I did a video for Burlington's
that's true.
1,000 Words.
Yep.
I was watching that video today, actually.
There you go.
That shit was hilarious. Yo, shout out Spencer Smith, Park. The
Do you think Spencer
creepy
Smith
dudes
was
on
a
there.
slave owner? Genuine question, because they are changing Dundas. I don't know if y'all heard about that. They are officially changing the name of Dundas
Right.
Street.
Is
So-
it because of slavery or because
I
of
think he was like
indigenous
advocating.
people?
He was
He
an
was the
advocate
guy
for
who was
slavery.
like, it was like delaying the end of slavery.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's so crazy to me that Young and Dundas Square isn't going to be called Young and Dundas Square anymore. It's crazy. And where does it stop?
And
you
I
know?
mean, this is an issue for you specifically as a,
I live like right on Dundas, pretty much. Like shit.
but also the university. I don't know if we've
Yeah.
doxed you before. But
Well, I went to school for Ryerson University. I was
Yeah.
planning on. I got my degree today. Actually, I was going to bring it over and show it to everyone to be cool. But
we don't care about
yeah,
your
no.
fucking
I went
career.
to Ryerson University, and now it's like
It's
it might not even
No
mean
name-
shit.
no
yeah,
name
X
university.
University. Oh, just like XXX Tentacion. You're naming it after a known abuser. God damn.
Professor X University.
there's no way to go right. Yeah, I don't know how they would.
Mm-hmm.
Like Drake University, they should recall it that.
Honestly, yeah.
OVO
the
University.
sixth, yeah, OVO University, yeah. OVO XXO University.
And then the whole like Drake pedophile scandal will come out in 5 years, and
Yeah.
then we'll have to get changed
Oh,
again.
man. The Weekend University. And
Yeah.
it'll change again because he's fucking coke. He's on coke all the time.
Is he actually, or is that just part of his persona?
I feel like that's
Oh,
part of
he has to be on coke.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a superstar, bro. There's no way he's not on coke.
Okay.
I'm on coke right now. Like shit.
Have you seen the look in his eyes during that Super Bowl commercial?
No, we do not support any drug use except for meth.
Oh, okay. I was gonna show
But
your
only
hat, but yeah.
for medicinal purposes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only because if you can't sleep, just do a little meth. What's the issue with that? I don't understand.
Honestly, these snowflake generation. Let's talk about it, guys.
I mean, shit. That was kind of. I wanted to talk a little bit about that, unironically.
Okay.
About.
Well, if we can do a horrible transition here.
Well, that was. I was trying to think of it as some sort of transition there, but you literally said that, so I'll just go off. Rapper Kota the Friend, who I've known for a while. You've only recently been introduced to him through me.
I listened to his one project.
And
pretty good.
Yeah, I liked him, and I liked his just
liked.
Liked. Emphasis liked. I liked his whole character and his whole like feel good shit, and it was all just kind of like a vibe, nothing too like special or too like wordy or too like heady. It was all just kind of like laid back, like chill music. And it turns out he is an active piece of shit. Abused many women and
wow.
I don't know the exact. I read a few articles, but I off the top of my head I don't remember the exact conditions of the abuse. But I think he got a few girls pregnant and then like forced them to get abortions and shit like that. And
That's fucked.
it just really irks me the wrong way how this guy his whole persona was like a good guy. Like Kota the Friend was his name. Like
You should have seen this fucking coming, man.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk about it because to an extent, like it's crazy how you can pick and choose, which is kind of I don't know how people feel about that necessarily, but some people pick and choose who they support and who they don't support or cancel or whatever in terms of rappers or artists, any artists that have allegations come out against them. And I think we're all guilty to that to an extent. Like there's at least like one or two people probably, because that's the thing is that I don't feel bad about listening to XXXTentacion music because the whole thing is kind of depressing and it's kind of like he's like it's kind of like some it's the style of music that he makes and what he was talking about. Like it doesn't really affect. Like
you're saying
you know
the branding of XXXTentacion's music makes it like the fact that he turned out to be an abuser. It's not as surprising.
Yeah.
It's not as jarring, so you can still salvage some enjoyment of the music.
Yeah. Whereas Kota the Friend I can't even pretend to like listening to the music anymore, and I don't listen to it anymore, and I don't like it anymore because like it's such a
because it feels like a betrayal.
Yeah, and it's like it's so off from what he actually is rapping about. Like X, it kind of like you said, X, it kind of made sense almost, but with Kota the Friend, it's
you feel like you were lied to.
Yeah, and it's such a contrast.
Kota was not your friend.
Yeah,
he wasn't anyone's friend.
Yeah. Just the contrast of the music and how he actually turned out to be is so jarring that I can't even...
Yeah.
Even if it comes untrue, like that kind of still leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. How long have you listened to it? Because this is the first time I've ever heard of this
I
person.
got into him last year when he had an album called Everything. I can't remember... I first found it on, I think, the Mac Miller subreddit, because he had a line about Mac Miller and they posted the song. And I listened to that song, I'm like, oh, it's pretty good. And then I think my roommate was like, oh yeah, Kota the Friend. Like, yeah, I know him, he's pretty good. So I listened to it a bit more. And then the first album that I listened to all the way through was Everything from last year, which featured like Boz and Joey Badass and Kyle and Lakeith Stanfield and a bunch of people, notable people. And this one, and then the project came out this year of Static Selecta and Kota the Friend, which I was, at the time, before like Tyler and shit came out, was probably in my running of like top 10 albums of the year. But after a bunch of new albums came out, and after this whole thing, it's not gonna be in there at all. I don't think, because I'm not gonna go back to it.
Right.
It's interesting.
It's interesting. This like.
Also, should we say trigger warning? No. Like I don't know. We're talking about fucking shit. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, we're venturing into a somewhat intellectual discussion.
Yeah. So
here.
what we say might not be exactly appropriate, but
like
whatever.
I'm just saying, this Kota the Friend guy, like. Is he starting to get a lot more buzz and like is this cancellation going to stick?
I don't think so because he wasn't that big to start off with anyway. If he was a bigger star, then maybe. I don't think he's getting more buzz off of it. I haven't really kept up.
You think it could sort of arrest his development or whatever?
He's trying to already switch his character up, or not switch his character up, but he's already like
He's going to come out with a future album about how like you can't trust these hoes and all this.
He issued a statement on Instagram which kind of didn't really say anything. He was just kind of not admitting to it, but like he kind of
Instagram apology.
But
post.
he was saying like, "Oh, I'll try to be better." Like, so he kind of like admits to it to an extent, even though he claims that certain things definitely didn't happen, and he's gonna fight like certain of the claims about him. And then the photo immediately after that was with him and his kid. I'm okay. He's starting. Yeah. Okay. And then the next one was like a motivational like help book or whatever type of shit that he posted, and the other one was like a picture of him being like, this was all necessary, all the fake friends, all the fake fans, like this is all like it's getting rid of the thing, like
so
Jaw is looking after me,
spiraling
and, like,
out of control.
To an extent, just from his Instagram, what I've seen, it looks like he's trying to salvage any sort of career that he has left.
I feel like I saw a similar thing with the comedian Chris D'Elia, who
that's also
after he got canceled out of some movie that he was supposed to star in, and they replaced his character with Tig Notaro, who is like this female comedian. He he leaned into his whole like, oh, I'm a dad thing, and like posted all kinds of videos of him with his kid, and like starts to repair his thing, and then he also does all this like motivational self-help type stuff with his podcast now.
Isn't he like also famous on TikTok now and shit? Like he's just been trying to like get at a different audience that didn't like him at first, so they don't even know what potentially he did.
I think the cancellation is fading away with him. Like I don't know how that works.
It's so weird how some people it attaches to forever. And other people's it doesn't.
But I mean, apparently his dad is kind of like in the music or in the movie industry in the LA and stuff or whatever. So it's like it could be sort of a nepotism thing where you just But it is interesting just how does a cancellation stick and how do people respond, and like because I feel like doing the long apology post and then the whole I'm trying to change the narrative,
trying to rebrand shit,
always comes off as desperate in the end, and just makes you seem like we don't want to fuck with you anymore, even if we didn't agree with the allegations. We just that's just kind of gross. Like
the idea of taking this thing about it's like making it about themselves is just narcissistic and self-centered. I think it's if you wanted to make an actual proper apology and actually prove that you are a changed person, you should focus on the victims and apologize to them first in private and not make it a big scene. And then approach it financially as well. Donate to put your money where your mouth is. Put your.
Seems like you thought a lot about this, Josh. You have something hidden in the background somewhere.
It's literally been talked about.
You have a file called just in case all that shit comes out about me.
Exactly.
But no, you are making some good points about how there's a way of responding to a situation like that. Where you can still come out like the nice guy, but then I don't know. It's interesting
because I've just been thinking about that a lot because because there's so many cases where people apologize and it's not enough, and I'm like, well, what is enough? That got me thinking.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
what would it take?
We don't really know what it even depends on. Does it depend on what the person did and the severity of that? Does it depend on their fame level? Like, does it depend on there's so many factors that go into it that depends on if they're going to stick. The cancel is going to stick.
If you are going to maintain that the allegations are made up, then there is a strategy of just ignoring and then allowing shit to just go and then years later, maybe you can reflect on how you've changed as a person or whatever, and then people will be like, hey, you know what? It's all in the past anyway. I don't know. It's complicated. It's, but I don't know. It would be interesting to see, with this Kota the Friend guy, if it seriously puts a damper on his career or...
Yeah, because he's at a weird stage where he wasn't quite...
Stuff like this could help him pop off in a way.
Because he was pretty underground, so he wasn't, famous enough to be canceled, some may argue. And he could, like you said, he could maintain some level of buzz around this.
We never really had the full Amir Van discussion on the podcast, but just the idea, that's an example of got sort of canceled and kicked out of the rap group that he was in, but the level of fame that they were at already means that he can still live off of his fan base and make his music on his own. And I don't think the industry is actively trying to blackball him or something right now.
Who knows?
I don't know. I'm not. I don't really know these things, but
it's also a case of
he's not completely screwed financially. He can
He still has released music since then, and it has.
It's not like he's completely off the map or anything.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's like the same. What you're saying with XXS Tentacion is that like he is talking. He's not pretending to be a good person. Well, actually, you could make the argument that Amir Van was pretending to be a good person, but like while admitting his wrongdoings and things.
I mean,
like that.
yeah, I don't know if he was like fake or if he was like pretending to be a good person, because a lot of the
we're all pretending to be good.
Well,
people.
yeah, really. Like, at the end of the day.
Yeah, a lot of his lyrical content was about him self-reflecting and acknowledging some shit that he did to women and trying to be better and trying to find Jesus and shit like that. Yeah. But there are some shit, obviously, that where
the thing that like I can't support is what he like did to the women, but also what he did to Dom. I think was the last straw, because like when you fuck with somebody who's like that close to you, like your friends, like you set up one of your friends to be robbed, that's some like unforgivable shit.
Yeah, but that's more within the friend group cancellation, like due to personal things, like whereas that's sort of a slightly different situation than responding to allegations like from the public and like how that affects your
like
but that is an interesting discussion as well.
The way that shit went down, like there was no way that Amir was going to stay in Brockhampton.
Yeah,
because,
no.
like it was either he was going to leave or Matt was going to leave because of his stances on respecting women from Junkie.
Respecting women, boy.
And
but we didn't even know
the way
where
that he backstabbed Dom was like one of those three was going to leave.
At the end of the day, like with a lot of these cases, unfortunately, it relies on just hearsay. Like we don't see a lot of these cases actually go to court and actually find evidence and shit. A lot of it is who you believe, which is why it's interesting how some people like it's divided here, because me and Alex still kind of support Amir Van to an extent, and we keep up with his new music, and you won't, and you refuse to, which is fine. Like, but that's a part of like. It's unfortunate that the hearsay is the majority of cases.
That gets at your overall point that you're trying to make, I think, which is like...
Especially in the rise of the aftermath, I don't want to get too into it, but like the idea of the Cosby shit that happened recently.
Yeah, that was huge. That also got me thinking about this whole idea as well.
That pissed me off really bad. Just seeing the people trying to excuse it really...
That one's crazy because there is like legit evidence, and he was in jail. Like he for sure did it. Like there was no question about it. But
and that shit, and like just
we all know that the justice system doesn't.
True.
It's so fucking broken.
Yeah, in a world where we know the justice system is like completely corrupt, then all you have to go off of really is your personal opinions and based off of hearsay and social media stuff, and also just the way people react to being criticized usually tells you what's really going on.
Which is why cancel culture is so divisive, like because there's always gonna be a divide where some people think this way, other people think this way, and that's just how it's gonna be.
It's also
there can never be a full agreement on like one person.
And there's no
I don't know if anyone's defending Harvey Weinstein or Jeffrey Epstein. Like there's some people that are for sure like they're obviously awful, and everyone thinks that. But most of the cases that we see, at least in rap music, are very divided for sure.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting overall thing, and also because it's just it really is a reflection on who you are as a person, because also like what you said about how they react to being accused is definitely a sign. It's kind of a tell into who they are, but it's also a matter of who you are as a person, as like would I feel okay continuing to support this person even if it comes out to be true or false or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Am I okay? Like, what did they do, and am I still okay with supporting them?
At the end of the day, we all want to like still feel like we're good people and we're not like, supporting like badness.
Yeah.
But
with art, it's because some people can separate the art from the artist. I believe I can do that. But with certain situations, like it all depends on so many factors in terms of like who you support and who you don't.
For sure.
Like what I was saying with Kota the Friend, it's specifically because his music was always so about him being a good person and mental health shit and like being up and positive and shit. That's why I can't really listen to his old shit now.
It seems too fake.
Yeah. Even if it comes out as false, like there's still probably some legitimacy to it, to the claims, to an extent. Even if they're not 100% true, there's probably at least some fucking legitimacy.
I just always think in the back of my mind, if I had an ounce of power or influence, I would probably be a shitty person too. Like,
You can make
Like,
that argument. Like, shit, look at everyone in power ever.
How are people
like,
supposed to just know how to handle fame and money and like?
We were really like off camera. We were talking about Roman Empire people just like killing people for no reason and shit.
But also, at the end of the day, it's like one of the easiest things ever to like not rape someone.
Yeah.
Which I think is like a bit from like some
Personally,
comedy special or whatever.
I find it very easy not to rape. But
Yeah.
that's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't
It's just
don't
such a,
edit
like,
that out.
Yeah. No.
No, you edit that so it's like you reverse what I.
Yeah, I'm getting you canceled today. This is the whole reason me bringing it up. I have all the power of editing, and I can destroy you.
That's the way that
like
you have the power.
like Thanos.
That's the way that you can control your power.
Yeah.
Well, edit this.
Well, yeah, that's kind of all.
Anyway,
Kind of got everything out of my system there. I think. Was there anything else anyone wanted to mention about any specific person? Bringing up any examples or anything?
No, I think we all have our stories of people who we've looked up to who have turned out to be really shitty people.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks, and we gotta just, learn to...
Justin Trudeau.
Yeah.
I fucking voted for that
I
guy.
knew him. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I
Just
guess
to
I
get
did too.
weed legal.
I know. That's, yeah.
Which, thanks for that one, by the way. That was
That's one good thing he did.
But I mean, everything else since is, I'm kind of mid on.
Yeah.
We need a new prime minister. I was thinking.
When's the next election? 2022?
That's the one for Ontario.
When's the next federal?
I don't remember.
If someone in the Toronto rap scene was to be the new prime minister, who would it be? Or any Canadian
Canadian celebrity.
Sunreal.
I don't know, probably someone like fucking Martin Short or Jerry D or some shit like that. That would probably be.
Who would actually be able to reach those rural voters,
Yeah.
I don't know, Justin Bieber could. Maybe in 20 years.
I don't think so. Drake. Well, who fucking knows? No one ever thought Trump would be president, so.
Prime Minister Tory Lanez.
John Tory. Tory Lanez.
I'm actually not sure if John Tory or whatever his fucking name. Tory Lanez. Was he actually Canadian?
Yeah, he's from like Brampton.
Okay, but I thought like he
may have been like born somewhere else. He may have,
yeah,
but he claims Brampton as his set. So
that was another little mini segment that maybe we can get off now, which is I was thinking like it is interesting how there are different regional rap scenes. Because I was talking to somebody the other day and they were like, "Oh, there's lots of great people coming out of Atlanta right now, and not so much other places or whatever." Like there's sort of like over time you develop a partiality to a certain area. Yeah. And I was thinking, like, I'm not actually that tuned into the whole Toronto-centered, like, rap scene. Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, Drake and Tory Lanez, like, are pretty good. The Weeknd is a good artist.
You got Belly, you got Nav, you got,
But Belly's from, like, Ottawa.
Okay.
But, I mean, I think he still kind of counts within the Toronto
That's the thing,
sphere.
is, like, where do you go? Because, like, I go to school in Hamilton, and so obviously I'm kind of attuned to the music scene there. And you would
because you go to a music school, so that also helps you.
Yeah, and like gets me kind of like an idea of the lay of the land of like, okay, what's going on here in this area. And there's also like apparently I have a friend in Prince Edward Island who is apparently there's actually a big scene there going on, mainly because there's
rappers.
There's nothing to do in PEI.
Is it rapper shit or is it?
No,
like
it's like
music?
just okay. General. She
didn't
really specify, but it was like general.
Yeah, I mean, the coasts are always like the East Coast specifically was always like the whole sea shanty shit, and it's always been like pretty musical like societies from what I know or from what I can tell. But yeah, no, I kind of agree that
as far as rap scenes, like. Which ones do you prefer over others? Like,
it's easy to say like L.A. because a lot of people are based out of L.A. now.
Right, but it's hard to like link them together stylistically because LA
there's no specific sound. Like Detroit, there's a sound going on right now. Like Toronto also kind of I think has a sound from what I can tell.
I mean,
like with the Houdinis and the people like that, like the more the underground scene. I think there is a specific Toronto sound. But not in terms of like the mainstream, really.
You can't really. I don't really know if there's a sound that's like you hear it. And it's like, oh, that's something you would hear in like.
Not necessarily, but there's still like there's something
there
about
is a Toronto thing. Though.
There's something not like
specifically with the slang terms that are native and just the accents that are native to here.
You need to be like hyper aware of that, like deep into the culture, which I'm
like. I'm not as connected to that whole side of the music industry, but Like, I was thinking that I do kind of have a partiality towards Detroit, the Detroit scene of music, because it's a good mix of, I like some of the younger kind of rowdy guys like Boldy James and like some of the other guys that were featured on the last
Was Boldy James on the Yachty tape?
Lil Yachty. Well, no, he
from
wasn't,
Detroit though.
but some of those other guys like Sada Baby and some
T
of those
Grizzly,
other,
like
T
like, there's some
Grizzly,
guys that are
which I like, but then I also like Danny Brown and like Big Sean and some of the more mainstream or artistic.
And that's the thing, that
there's kind of rappers.
There's always going to be like a sound, like there's a Detroit sound, there's an Atlanta sound, there's like an LA sound, but not everyone who makes it out of there successfully and becomes a mainstream artist has that sound. Like I like Atlanta as well, like it's similar to that, where there's artists like 21 Savage and shit like that. There's also Childish Gambino, along with the Migos and shit like that. Like it's in Yachty. Like,
but I think in different cities, the music doesn't necessarily all mix together as well. And like I think when they had like the Detroit versus Everybody song and the one on the last Detroit 2 album, shows that you can actually bring everyone from Eminem and some of the more old school guys, and you can bring them all together and Dej Loaf, and you can throw a bunch of other the one female rapper from Detroit. What's her name again? Cash Doll?
I think so.
Even Royce da 5'9". I feel like if I had to choose one general area where you would have to like listen to mainly that for like a month or something, like which one would it be? I think I would go Detroit. There's other like smaller cities like Buffalo or Pittsburgh where like okay, the Buffalo, you got the Griselda team, which produces lots of dope music. Pittsburgh, you really only have Mac and Wiz.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm
sure there's
certain guys that I would be like, okay, that's all I need is Mac and Wiz.
Yeah, exactly. For me, I mean, probably like Atlanta or California or LA, like which I mean, it might be. I don't think that's cheating because like it's just because the sounds are so different and varied. Like it's still a scene and it's still like.
Well, it's not just one sound either. Like
there's no place that is just going to be one sound coming out of it.
It's kind of hard to bring the New York scene to. I don't think I'm as into the whole New York because the only rappers from New York that I really fuck with are like A$AP Rocky.
Yeah, I mean,
like Nas.
They had a big resurgence. I think, back when like Joey Badass and A$AP Rocky were both like and Action Bronson. Like when they started coming in like 2013, like that was like a big time for New York, I think. But I think now a little bit has slowed down, even though I think Griselda is kind of seen as a New York new wave.
Well, New York wants to claim them now that they're big, but Buffalo.
And I'm sure, obviously, like we're fucking ignorant. There's probably some fucking huge rappers coming out of these places that we just don't fucking know about and we don't like realize. So. I'm
just not as into the whole Pop Smoke,
the drill shit, New York drill
style of music.
There's UK and there's the South and there's Florida. Like Florida's a good one too that I would put up there. Maybe not anymore, but like back when like Denzel was like popping off, like that whole scene, the Raiders Clan shit was a definitely interesting scene.
Florida would be an interesting choice, but I think it's a little bit too wacky. Because you've got Pitbull thrown in there.
I don't know
Mr. Worldwide.
I don't know if he counts.
Hey, that's Dade County 305.
All right, whatever.
I started thinking about, like, obviously you're going to get good shit from New York and LA because that's where, the action is and that's where all the people are.
Yeah.
But it's also, like, the weirder places, like, you didn't expect. It pops up in, like, kind of strange places, I find. Where it's like, there's this crazy scene going on right now in this area. It was like, well, I didn't expect.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of expected. It's like L.A., New York, obviously.
Not a lot of great rappers from Colorado.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, there's.
I think the 303 guys are from Colorado.
It does really make sense.
The Chainsmokers are from Colorado.
But we're talking about rap though.
Yeah,
it's the rap.
I'm just saying that's the closest thing you can get.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm searching it up right now because you got me curious.
It makes sense because like that's where the people are. I mean, like Atlanta.
Like, no one
Atlanta,
at all.
New York, L.A., Florida. That's where
even like we're missing like Houston.
The population.
It's actually really important with.
There's a total of 5 rappers ever that came out of Colorado, and I don't know any of them apparently. So
I mean, like in terms of population, like of course there's a bigger population. You're gonna get more rappers coming out of those places. Like it makes total sense.
But you can't say I'm wrong for preferring music that comes from like L.A. Even just because it doesn't have a specific sound.
I think,
no, but there is an LA thing going on as well.
I think it just sounds like to some people, not to me. But
who would be your LA team?
Like Oh, it's
Like top 5?
It's the easy choice to make.
Top 5 in terms of LA that I know are from LA.
Vince Staples is doesn't count because Long Beach is like not LA.
Well, okay, probably Anderson .Paak. I don't know if he's from specifically LA, but he's from around the neighboring areas. Right. Like fuck, Tyler's from around there. Earl, you could name all the Odd Future guys, honestly.
Yeah.
Like. And that's the thing that the LA doesn't really have. I mean, LA used to have, like, you know, with the G-Funk shit and Snoop Dogg, like back in the day, it definitely had a specific sound. And I think that just kind of comes in waves depending on just the world and how shit works. Like, there's going to be certain places that have certain waves at different times. That has, you know, because Detroit right now, is a specific sound that's coming out of it right now. But LA, there's not really one specific sound coming out of it.
Yeah. There's Diaper Boy. Famous Korean rapper.
Yeah.
Extremely innovative.
Yeah.
Highly
high art.
Yeah.
Highly innovative music coming from. Oh
well,
doxed us again.
Coming from the not quite Toronto region, from either the Niagara or Halton or Peel region. We won't
All
say
right,
which
you want to
one.
move on to Vince Staples?
Yeah. Speaking of Vince, Vince Staples by Vince Staples.
Artesia.
Stories and Raps by Vince Staples himself.
No mention of Ramona Park in this new album.
Oh, he mentions a bunch of street names though that I'm sure are probably around that area. Yeah, new Vince Staples project. It's a shorty. It's like what 12 minutes or it's like 12 songs, 22 minutes, something like that. All produced by Kenny Beats. 10 songs. First initial thoughts. I was a little underwhelmed at first. When I first heard it, I kind of like all the songs kind of blended in my mind as kind of like the same song, aside from maybe one or two. And then the more I've heard it maybe because it's such an easy listen to listen to. I've heard it maybe 5 or 6 times now, and it's very solid like all the way through. I don't think there's a bad song on it to me. And I have a few standouts, but I'll let you get your thoughts off first.
Yeah, it's very solid, like. Lyrically, structurally, musically,
it all has a similar sound to it. It all flows well.
It doesn't necessarily like jump out at you or like.
Yeah, it's not trying to get your. Yeah, it's not trying to either. I don't think he was trying to. It's a pretty introspective tape from Vince. Like he has obviously always talked about where he comes from and all that shit, but he has before obviously too like got into the really specific shits of it. But this one he gets into really specific shit and really just like kind of. Just lays it all out for you in like a very kind of like almost like he's tired of like all this shit happening and he's just like I'm just gonna give it to you straight up, nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy, over kind of a similar production the whole time. Like here I'm just giving you, which is kind of probably why it's called Vince Staples. I'm just giving you myself, just all here right now, like with no bullshitting around, which I respect.
Yeah, I agree with that statement for sure. Like it's focused very much on the lyrics, I think, as the. Mm-hmm. The main thrust, like the poetry itself, and like
he has some
as
great
far
bars.
as his energy or his flow, like it's very casual.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I feel like in the last couple of pods we say the term low energy and it sounds like a diss, you know?
Yeah.
But there's a way of doing low energy.
Yeah.
Where it's still good.
Like us right now.
Yeah. I'm the example for Vince Staples to follow.
Yeah, there you go.
But you know what I mean, like. I remember talking to my buddy Slowburn. Yeah, and he was just saying, like, like, just that it didn't really, like, affect him or he didn't have many thoughts on it because it's kind of low energy. Mm-hmm. But I find it's very, like, soothing and, like...
Yeah.
I don't know, right when the first track, Are You With That, comes on...
Oh, what a track. That's a fantastic track.
It just gets right in your ear.
Yeah. Catchy as fuck. Like, Vince isn't really known for, like, his catchy... choruses, like, you know, he often goes to someone else or just kind of repeats the same shit over and over again, like, but this one he's kind of showing off a little bit more, like, melody and shit. Not like singing, but like he's using more auto-tune and he's kind of like, you know, finding different parts of the beat and shit and, you know, experimenting a little bit, even if it still sounds like Vince Staples, you know.
It's very vibesy.
There you go.
Like, you know, when you picture, like, seeing, like, Vince Staples live, like, if you're trying to go nutty with it, like you would want to hear Blue Suede and like, you know,
North and like
there's nothing as like crazy as the sound in Blue Suede of like the fucking
and that one is crazy. I'm glad we got to see him at a time where he was still performing that. He might still at his shows now, but
Yeah.
I'm just glad we got to see that for sure.
But
live.
I kind of welcome the change of pace into more introspective, low-key kind of music.
So I don't think he will tour for this album, because from what I know, I think from what he said,
No, I mean,
he's coming out with a bigger, more full-length, not feature-heavy, but with more features album later this year or early next year, like a more substantial piece of work.
Right.
So he'll probably tour on that, which, I mean, I guess it's an interesting time for him to do it. Like, I obviously don't know anything about the recording process or anything, but this album could have probably come out last year and had like the same effect on me, I would say, because like he could,
Right.
like I don't think like any of these songs would go maybe aside from a few would go off live. Like I don't know if a tour for just this one fucking 22-minute album would be worth it. So he probably could have benefited off putting it out last year when shit was slow. But I mean, you know, it might not have been ready, or he might have been focusing on something else, or scrapped something, and it just started this one this year. So I'm not knocking him for doing that, right?
Probably also couldn't do it because you don't know of like restrictions and all that.
Something with his label or something. I think he's with like Motown Records now. I think he used to be with like Def Jam or
I'm
something.
talking about specifically about COVID. You know, like you couldn't really.
Yeah, I guess him and
Studios.
Kenny couldn't fucking like, you know, meet up all the time, I suppose.
But, I mean, at this point, like, how many albums are we at with Vince? Like
At least 5 or 6, right?
yeah, because this definitely struck me as one of those albums that you put out at a point in your career where you've already
Done a bunch of shit.
done other shit, and it's like,
Yeah,
I'm trying to go for a specific low-key vibe on this type of album.
Yeah. Hell Can Wait. I guess it's on here as albums, but I thought that was more of an EP.
How
Summertime
long have you
06,
been
Prima
with
Donna.
Vince Staples?
Big
Since
Fish
the
Theory.
beginning?
Since
first
that-
album was Hell Can Wait, right? Which I listened to.
Wait, are you talking about when I first discovered this?
Yeah.
The Hive Verse by Earl
Right.
was when I first discovered him. I think I probably, honestly, the first album I listened to all the way through was Stolen Youth. And then probably after was Summertime 06 came out around that time. And then after that, I think I went back and listened to Hell Can Wait. And then I went from there, right?
And then what's the rest of the history there? You
Prima Donna.
Prima Donna EP, which
yeah.
was like really only a couple songs, right?
That was like 6 or 7 songs. It was almost the same length as this one. Like people.
Then you had Big Fish Theory.
Yeah, and then there was FM,
FM.
and then this one. A lot of people were kind of disappointed by Vince putting out like another short album because he has like Hell Can Wait and Prima Donna and FM and this one. Like they're all pretty like short. But I mean that's
You kind of have to accept that that's his style.
Yeah, keeping it short and concise. I don't mind that at all. Like I like short albums.
I mean, we've had this discussion before about like the natural progression of rap albums, and like Summertime 06 is definitely his Good Kid, Mad City or whatever.
Where
Like,
he's kind of just
that's
talking about his
the concept
history
album
and how he
that
got
is
here and yeah,
drawn out and has features
skits and into 2 parts and yeah.
and a whole story and everything. Then it's kind of the other ones are a little bit more honed and focused on
Yeah, Big
specific
Fish Theory
idea.
is very experimental and kind of like new wave shit.
Yeah. One of the reactions I saw early on social media was people like, "Oh, I'm happy that he's no longer rapping over Swedish House Mafia beats or whatever." Like,
I mean, I like that style of Vince. Like, I'm
yeah,
not
no,
mad
well,
at that at all.
it was
I
like
love Big Fish
Vince
Theory.
quote tweeted that saying like, "Man, you know me. Like, you shouldn't be getting these jokes off like
Yeah.
on Twitter." But like, what do you feel about that? Like his the types of his progression of the types of beats that he raps over.
I mean, the last 2 projects were both with Kenny Beats, which I like Kenny Beats' work, but I don't really want them to go 3 for 3.
Wait, but the last 2. Oh, this
FM
one,
and Vince Staples were all Kenny Beats.
Oh, right. Yeah, because
yeah.
Big Fish Theory was a lot more clubby kind of beats, and he was working with like Sophie and like some other EDM kind of artists.
Yeah, and I really fuck with that style, but I don't know if I would want like him to really go in that career trajectory where the next 3 albums he makes are all like that. Like I'm glad that he switches shit up enough to keep me interested in whatever he's putting out. That being said, yeah, like I don't know if I want another entirely Kenny Beats produced album after this. You got FM, great. You got Vince Staples, great. I want something a little more substantial next time. I think.
Him and Kenny need to take a break for sure.
I like both albums, and I like Kenny Beats a lot.
Bringing
I like
back
Vince
the
Staples
Kenny
a lot.
Beats beef.
Yeah, but I think I would be a little bit more upset with this release, like people are, in terms of like the length and the substance and shit, if he didn't tease that another album is coming shortly after this. You know,
Right.
like it's a 3-year wait for this to come out. Like I still like it a lot, and but it's you know, it's still only 20 minutes, so you know, there's still going to be. I can see both sides where I can appreciate the album for what it is, and I can also see people being like I can understand people being a little bit disappointed by it.
Okay, but what's your opinion? Are you disappointed?
No, I like it a lot.
No, yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, I was disappointed at first a little bit, but then
I don't need a huge fucking album.
Yeah.
4 or 5 good songs is all you can really ask for. Like,
yeah, the Migos formula. My standouts on this one are You With That? That's been in my fucking head forever. Law of Averages, great single, great video.
I found that Law of Averages, I started to like dislike a little bit more.
Really? That one's still up there with me.
I think just the Kenny goes with a lot of these distorted vocal samples that I find to be somewhat grating.
Oh no, that's one thing I really liked about Kenny Beats' production this time around is he has a lot of
I didn't like it on
shit.
the song Law of Averages, but I like it on the other ones.
Oh man, that sounds so good to me. But teach their own, I guess.
I don't know, it just started to annoy me a little bit. I still like that song like lyrically. But the next song, Sundown, or what is it called?
Sundown Town.
Sundown Town. That's one where Kenny Beats uses some like it's like sounds like Sampha, like you know that one British singer.
Yeah.
But it's like this muffled, like, distorted version of it.
Right.
I don't know. It's just interesting, like, that there's this, like... And there's a lot of that and live guitar instrumentation woven into these beats, which I think sounds pretty good. Like,
yeah, I like it.
It was definitely Kenny on a specific vibe, like, okay, this album's going to be... It's going to sound like this.
Well, I'm sure Vince instructed him, or like they were both with each other, and they kind of came up with that together. Like,
but I think on some tracks it comes off better than others.
Yeah.
Sundown Town is not exactly one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's still a good song. I don't think there's any bad songs on this album. I'm not going to listen to the skits every time. But yeah, Sundown Downtown isn't one of the standouts to me. What's the next one after that?
The Shining.
I'm just
going to try to remember how this one
That one's a good one. I like that one. I like the chorus on this one.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to remember the details, but...
Yeah. Well, because it's new.
That one and Taking Trips, I thought were very good.
Taking Trips is another one that's pretty good to me, but doesn't really stand out to me exactly.
Right.
I was listening to it earlier today, and The Shining stood out to me more than Taking Trips.
Right. Anyway, either way, the album starts off strong. Like the first, you have 5 songs and then like a skit.
Yeah. And then, Take Me Home is one of my favorites off the rip. I'm just really liking Fouché and everything she's been doing right now. She's been she's one of those singers that I mentioned a few pods ago, or last pod or whatever. That it's good to change up for the album to have at least like one like kind of like prominent feature, and she kills the chorus, and Vince
perfect
has some really great
for that song too.
And Vince has really great bars on that one. Like he's on his lyrical bag. I don't know if that was the track where he mentions maybe that was a Little Fade or something. I like that. The one good COVID bar maybe throughout the entire past year and a half of saying like even before COVID I wasn't shaking no hands or some shit. Like I knew the streets was over.
There was a couple little clever
there was
things there. I mean, the dude knows how to put together some imagery.
Yeah, he's been rapping for a long time now. He's honed in his skill. He's no one can really debate that Vince Staples isn't a good rapper anymore. Like he's done so much, man.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about the whole low energy criticism and does that even like hold water or matter at all?
I mean, some people, I don't know, because
maybe it's just like at the end of the day, maybe you just don't like hamburgers or hot dogs or whatever.
And I'm sure he gained a lot of fans from songs like North or Blue Suede or some of the Big Fish Theory shit that is more of like a hype thing, and there's those fans that are only into his hype music, so something like this wouldn't really reach out or wouldn't really grab them as much. I will say the last song that's a banger. That's like the one
for sure.
That's another standout to me.
Yeah, Take Me Home is the one for me. Like
that one's
one and Are You With That are the ones that stood out to me the most that I can
I'm not mad at that.
Remember exactly how they sound and
I'm about the same. I still have a hard on for Law of Averages and as well, but I agree with you
good,
there.
and I like Lil Fade a lot as well.
Yeah, that one
catchy.
Doesn't stand out to me as much, but it's still a good track.
I like the production on that one a lot. But the Fouché one, bro.
Yeah.
Love that guitar shit they do on it.
Yep. Vince's
verse is crazy. Fouché, like, I mean, we want to talk some ASMR.
Yeah.
Real ASMR hours.
She's got a great voice, man.
That breathy voice.
Yeah.
You can hear her. You can. It's like you're in the room with her and she's breathing softly on your.
Yeah. On your what, Alex? Finish the sentence, please.
On your knee.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Nothing sexual.
Of course.
It's ASMR.
Yeah.
Okay.
The knee, you fucking freak. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You're canceled.
Yeah, that's disgusting. I'm sorry. I do not support ASMR.
Yeah, no, she's great. I don't know if there's much else to really talk about.
The skits are pretty cool. Like,
yeah,
I like the Lakewood Mall one about like, basically just a whole story about how you just avoid like when you know shit's gonna pop off at a certain area or place, or just moving smart in the world.
Yeah, and he's never really like glorified. Is that the right word? Like gun use and shit like that.
Yeah.
But this one, he's really just like, I'm like, this shit sucks. Like, I don't like going to the beach and having guns in the trunk of the car. Like, I don't want to, like, right. He's really kind of just being like...
I thought it was in his swim trunks.
Or in swim, oh, okay, I just got that, yeah.
Yeah. Figured out.
Yeah, like, it seems like he's, like, fed up with the shit, like we were saying earlier. Which is, completely fair.
Yeah, he's very consistent with, like, how, he doesn't really glorify the whole street life, but just... talks about it in a very frank
and honest
way.
Yeah, exactly.
He definitely rides that line between talking about the street life and having a very artistic approach to his music as well, and not just like another song about shooting people and like how awesome it is or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he's a fucking artist.
Yeah,
not just some dude. He's not just some rapper. He's Vince Staples,
which is always so crazy to me. Whenever he was like, I didn't really even want to rap. Like they just told me to do it. Like it was like, but he's so good at it, and he's so good at making these artistic decisions and creating such crazy songs and crazy moments in songs and albums and shit. Like, blows my mind, man.
What do you think is gonna be like the next thing's gonna be about? Like,
it's called Ramona Park Broke My Heart.
Okay.
Which is a fire title. So probably, I mean, similar substance to what Vince has given us the past few albums and throughout his career. Probably with a different approach, maybe some different production. Like, it seems like he's gonna, it's not gonna. I don't think a single Vince Staples project sounds like another one. Really, you can make the argument for maybe like some of his earlier shit does, but like nothing since, like Summertime '06 has sounded
right
the same. So I don't know, but I'm excited for it.
Where are your what are your favorite Vince Staples projects?
I was thinking about this not too long ago, and I don't think I can rank them.
It's been a minute since I listened to Summertime '06 the whole way through.
But I think my top three...
It's a classic for sure.
Man, my top three... Stolen Youth is probably up there, honestly, still. Big Fish Theory, Summertime '06, and honorable mention to Prima Donna. I think that's an underrated tape.
For me, like, honestly, the skits ruined some of the albums a little bit for me. Big Fish Theory, like there's a whole skit where it's like some British lady talking.
I'm used to Vince Staples having skits now, like, and you can just delete them off your phone and still have a really good album.
It's impossible to skip the.
That's true. That's the one.
Skits.
Yeah, but you can just skip it at the end of the song. Like it's usually at the end of the song, and I can just skip the rest of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but look, I respect his artistic freedom. I'm just giving my opinion here.
Yeah, no,
I don't really like the skits on some of his albums, and they just kind of ruin it. But I like the ones on this one.
I don't think they ruin it in any case. Because you can just delete them. I don't understand that point. Like, I mean, it might, like...
It's just not as strong overall.
I understand that for maybe Prima Donna because there were a bunch of skits and it's short enough already. But I don't really understand that for, like, Big Fish Theory.
For the Big Fish Theory specifically, like, I just don't understand even, like, the meaning of... the one where it's the British girl talking about...
I don't know, yeah. I think that's fucking someone famous, I think. Talking about, like, I don't know, stolen a bike or something. I don't really remember, but... Maybe I'm thinking of the Brockhampton one.
Anyway, no, that's a different one. Yeah. It's like some girl about like, oh, I write songs about my boyfriend and I write songs about... It's just like...
Yeah.
No, I don't know what point you were going for here, but it didn't click with me. Sorry, but
I don't understand it really either, and I'm
just trying to be a fair reviewer here and say like points taken off where I don't like it.
Right.
So,
and I'm not going to say I enjoy those moments or that I listen to them, but I don't think they ruin any of his projects.
Well... opinion respected.
We could probably move on to...
Yeah. We got a lot of ton of new music to chat about. We've already been talking for...
under an hour here. Alright, I'm very excited for this next segment because I'm going to out Alex as a misogynist right now with the Doja Cat album.
God damn it.
Here we go. I
liked
as a precursor, really?
Kind of. I mean, it's pop music, you know?
It's pop music.
But I did think it was pretty fire. For the most part.
At the start, when I first heard it, kind of similar to the Vince Staples one, I was like, you know, I liked a few songs here and there, but some songs have grown on me, and there's a good chunk of songs that I can make a good album with from the album, you know? Like, there's some that I'm just like, no, I don't like that song, like, right off the bat. But there's some great ones on there. As a precursor, I am
this track list.
I am a Doja Cat fan, and Alex is not. Really? This is the first album that you've heard?
What Doja Cat things have you listened to?
Hot Pink was the last one. Last album she released, I listened to that one. That one's also kind of similar to this one, where they're kind of like, it's kind of all over the place and doesn't really have like a specific. Like, I was a little bit disappointed by the fact that like all the music videos and the album cover and the Planet Her idea wasn't really explored in the music at all. Like, there wasn't really many moments where it was like referencing that kind of. I thought she was trying to build more of a
like
world around it.
A planet for only girls?
No, just the whole kind of pseudo sci-fi fucking shit that she was doing on the rollout of the album and with the album cover and
like
shit.
How she's dressed up like an alien in the video.
Yeah, and how it doesn't really explore that really in the music, which I was kind of disappointed by. But you know, there's still some banger tracks.
How can you really be disappointed? Doja Cat is a popular pop artist.
Yeah, no. Well, because I don't know, this was like her big. Because Hot Pink is when she kind of popped off with Say So and with, you know, a bunch of the other tracks and shit. Yeah. But this one was like the one to really prove herself, and I think it was just kind of more of the same from her. So as a fan, like, I am a tad disappointed, but also it's still, you know, some great songs on here, so I can't
like
be too mad.
The Get Into It.
Get Into It is probably my favorite. One of my favorites. Was like,
she's doing some flows on that one.
Yeah, no, that was a good one.
She's doing the
baby voice or whatever you want to call it.
Is this 100 Gex again coming back?
It's Playboy Cardi.
Did 100 Gex make that song?
I think it's more Playboy Cardi inspired.
Right. It was funny how we were joking around about that for a couple episodes, and then since then have completely fallen off.
Well, that's when 100 Gex were like fully kind of coming, you know, popping off to an extent.
There's another track on this thing that was like made me think of the phrase hyper pop. Maybe it's the one. No, it's the one with
Young Thug.
Young Thug.
Yeah, that one's. I like that one too. That is kind of like a little hyper poppy.
Which one is that one called? I don't know.
Payday.
Yes.
Payday featuring Young Thug.
That one was fire.
I like that one a lot.
But I don't know exactly what hyper pop even means. Is it just when someone's doing a really high, like weirdo voice thing?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's almost like a parody.
I don't think it has to do with the voice more so than the beat. Like, it's kind of like.
It's so overly it's so overly poppy that it becomes almost like a parody of itself a little bit.
And it has like some EDM elements there too. Yeah, it's not a bad description of it.
Because this is one of those things where I don't want to just watch an Anthony Fantano video where he explains exactly what it means.
Well, there's also a distinction apparently now I've been reading and looking into called Plug and B, which is kind of like a SoundCloud thing that's going off now, where it's similar to hyperpop, but it's like a little bit. It's also
even more ironic.
I don't know, but it's like Playboy Cardi inspired as well, and still like there's a whole different lot of things that go into it. I still haven't fully wrapped my head around what the difference is between hyperpop and Plug and B. Mention in the comments if you want to tell me. I'm trying to get some interaction here. That's all I really know. And I fuck with it when Rico Nasty does it. So
yeah, I mean, I didn't really like the Rico Nasty 100 Gex.
Well, the new album of hers is going to be fully produced by the dude from 100 Gex, so I'm excited. But the new song, I'll just get it out of the way. The new Rico Nasty song is pretty mid. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's not really worth talking about. In terms of back to the album, the first two tracks, Woman and Naked, I kind of flip-flopped these when I first started listening to it, of like which one if I liked them or if I didn't like them.
Naked Woman?
Yeah, what? How controversial. But I have solidified my opinion that Woman is a good track, and I don't really like Naked as a song. I like naked people, depending on the person. I would like her naked, but I don't like the song very much.
I don't like being naked.
I'm insecure.
It makes me feel small.
I have a small penis.
Yeah. I don't remember it as well as you did because
I'm
not in love with her like you.
Okay, I have a girlfriend on the record.
Okay, I have a girlfriend.
From Australia. No, I've listened
Her
to this
name was
album.
Jhené Aiko.
Okay. Yeah, I've listened to this album probably like 3 or 4 times, or even listened to it maybe twice. So I've sat
I
with it a
like
little
the song
longer.
with JID too.
Yeah, Options is a good track.
And there was, I think the song Imagine I enjoyed as well. Like, she's a good singer. Like, she, and they have like a good team over there, or whatever.
Yeah.
The whole thing is, it just seems so weird because she popped off in a very weird way off of the viral song.
The meme fucking moo shit, and then
now
she's
a cow.
a huge fucking pop star.
Like, bitch, I'm a cow, to like the fucking whole industry lining up to give you a career. But I mean, not that she doesn't deserve it or anything. Like, she's a pretty good rapper and a good singer, and
even to the point we were making before, like they were trying to cancel her too, but she was like too famous to even fucking get it off.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's that Say So song was really huge, actually.
Yeah, like, no, that was a giant song. But yeah, back to some of these tracks here. Need to Know, I really like. I'll play a little bit of it because I am kind of forgetting it. Oh yeah, I like the kind of, that's kind of like a spacey type of like. I like the ad libs and the kind of, that's kind of reminds me of when I look at the album cover. I'm like, oh, this song kind of makes sense. Like, it's a song that kind of fits within that.
I think I like the songs where she's being weird and having fun with it more so than the ones where it's like.
Yeah, Ain't Shit is
slow
also
and like
one of my faves.
Oh, the one about how men are not good enough.
Yeah, for her.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that one.
Yeah.
No, that's a good song though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of threw it on in the background, wasn't thinking about it that hard, but like, yeah, it's pretty good quality. But like some of the more like poppy, less inspired stuff, like just kind of isn't as. Yeah, you know.
I agree with that. Like, I don't really like I Don't Do Drug song with Ariana Grande. It kind of just seems like Doja Cat is doing an Ariana Grande impression the whole time. Love to Dream, I don't like that one really. I don't really remember that much of that one either. Same with like the Weekend one that You Write. It's like that's an okay one, really but it's not really
stand out to me. That's one of the more boring poppy ones.
It's just okay. And then Been Like This is a little bit slower, but I find it kind of annoying. I don't really like that one. Options with JID is great. Ain't Shit is great. Imagine I don't really like. I really like Alone. Alone is the one where it's kind of more of like a slowed down, like kind of ballad where she's talking about like this one specific relationship. She's getting a little bit more lyrical. That being said, she does have a fucking diarrhea or shit bar on here, and that's a no for me. And there's some other cringy bars, like There's a Party in My Pants or something like that. Like there's some other just times where I'm just like, ugh, Doja, come on. Stop trying to get me hard, bitch. Get off my dick.
You're gonna tell a woman not to have a party in her pants?
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's sexist.
Okay, you're the sexist one. This was the whole point of this segment.
This is a workplace, so you're harassing me right now. Boom.
But unless I do this. Yeah, I like that Alone, the slower one. Kiss Me More is still... I love that song with SZA. In running for Song of the Summer to me. And the deluxe is kind of meh.
I didn't even know they put out a deluxe.
She tried to get first on the chart because it dropped the same week as Tyler, and she put out the deluxe like right away, just like the Migos, to try to get number one.
Yo, while we're praising beautiful, strong women, I really like the Sweetie and Cash Doll song on the Space Jam soundtrack. And this is an opinion that I'm stealing from Lil Deeg on Twitter.
Okay.
Who was probably the first one to say it.
Okay.
That she kind of stole the show.
I didn't listen to that song, so I don't have an opinion.
That song's fire.
I picked and choose which songs on the Space Jam album I was gonna listen to, because I didn't want to listen to a whole fucking soundtrack of a
Sweetie's probably in
my
top 5 female rappers right now.
Okay.
I like her more than Doja Cat.
Okay, that's fair.
So I'd still say that's my team. Okay.
For me, Doja Cat is 1. Rico Nasty is probably 2. In terms of rappers, I don't know. That one's up in the air. Yeah. I don't really like those. Are like the 2 standout ones. Yeah. I mean, I love Jhené Aiko and Kali Uchis and a bunch of other female R&B singers, but like they're not really rap to the same extent. You're right. They have rap influence and they have
Missy
rap
Elliott.
features and stuff like that. I don't really know.
Yeah, I guess you don't know as many of the classics as me because I'm 75 years old.
Because you're a fucking boomer. Yeah, the other Space Jam soundtrack songs to listen to.
Yeah, that's just one we want to get out of the way because I really don't give a fuck.
Cordae,
did you watch the movie?
No, I did not. Cordae and Duckworth song was okay. Like, none of these were like really good songs, to be fair, because it's soundtrack songs. They're not going to be... I wasn't expecting there to be good.
No, I was just like, is this going to sound good while I'm watching Space Jam 2?
Yeah, Cordae and Duckworth one was okay. Brockhampton one was okay. I really liked Chance the Rapper's. Did you listen to the one with Chance the Rapper and John Legend?
Yeah.
I really liked Chance the Rapper's verse on that, actually. But the rest of the song was just
John Legend
okay.
is terrible on it.
Yeah, no, he is not very good. But Chance the Rapper had a really good verse, surprisingly.
I mean, that's like John Legend doing a soundtrack song for the Space Jam movie. Like, you couldn't come up with a situation where someone would phone it in anymore. Like,
Yeah, true. Yeah, John Legend. Yeah.
like
yeah,
this guy's
that's
already won like 7 Grammys or whatever.
Yeah, he's
like,
already.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. It's over.
Just
for him.
lay down a quick verse about
Yeah.
being the best and
Just keep apologizing
dunking
for
on
Chrissy
people.
Teigen's behavior and fucking move on with your life.
yeah.
I also listened to that 24K Golden Lil Wayne track, and it's catchy, but that's about it.
Man, it's
I
hard
don't-
to get the soundtrack list on this fucking Google shit. Google, be better.
Yeah, that's kind of all I
Is there
wanted
a
to
Nicki
say about
Minaj
that.
song on it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Nicki Minaj will be in your top 5.
Oh yeah,
She'll probably round out my
Forgot
top
about-
3
that's
too, honestly.
Probably my number 1 favorite female rapper.
Yeah. All right, moving on from Space Jam. Is there any other Space Jam songs you wanted to talk about?
Maybe, but I can't.
Josh,
I
you
can't find.
listen to
The,
the Brockhampton one.
The only other one was like.
well, what did you think really about this Brockhampton one?
I
Just,
I
you
thought
liked
it was pretty good. I
mean-
I thought it was yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it's all right, but
it's
like,
alright. The other one that I wanted to mention was the one with Amine.
and Lil Tecca.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I think Amine stole the show on that song.
I don't like.
Right.
I don't
I liked
like
it. Amine's part.
I
of
didn't
that.
really even like his part, really. I didn't really like that
Didn't
song
like
itself.
Tekka's though.
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't like Tekka's.
I don't. To me, maybe it's. I mean, they couldn't even save that song. I think to me is more so. My thoughts on that.
Yo, Lil Uzi Vert, "Pump Up the Jam." That
Didn't
was
hear-
a good one.
Didn't hear that one. Or is that ironic or is that sincere? It's tough to tell. It's all
Deciding.
it's soundtrack movies. Like it's
No,
like
Yo, okay, let's listen to this shit. Tell me you're not getting lit to this.
turn it off already.
You don't even need to hear any of the rapping.
No, no, that sounds corny.
Okay,
to me.
maybe
I
that
don't
was the least impressive thing of all time, but
know. Yeah,
I
no,
like the Uzi Vert song. There's a Jonas Brothers song on it. Very bad.
Who could have guessed?
Who's Duckworth? That's not Kendrick Lamar,
some
is
dude.
it?
No,
You shouldn't be able to call yourself that when there's already Kendrick
it's
Lamar.
without an O. I think. Like there's a letter missing in it or
Even
something.
that. Stealing his last
He's
name.
been around for a while, and he's kind of just an underground dude.
Yeah, none of the other stuff is worth talking about at all.
Yeah, I don't know. To
There's
me,
a Joyner Lucas song on it.
to
apparently.
me, they're like, unless it's like a Black Panther type of thing, or like a even I guess I didn't even really like the Spider-Man one either. Like, it's very rare that a fucking soundtrack album is gonna fucking have like actually produce some quality songs, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah, because
like even the best songs in it are just okay and wouldn't even make it onto these rappers or artists' actual albums. Like, it's hard for me to really appreciate it.
It's like, you know, they did it for the movie and it works in a certain
And for the money.
and context. Yeah, exactly.
And for
what
the
I-
clout.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Is that like for the money and the clout? And it's also there's no, I guess, consistency in it because when you release albums, the track list is very well thought out. You know, it's very meticulous, and it's sort of like an art piece in a way. Whereas this is just an accompaniment. Or
Right.
Soundtracks are just like an accompaniment.
Yeah, but the Black Panther one
Is like
breaks all those
yeah.
traditions because it's totally works as an album that you
Yeah.
can listen to.
Yeah, there are obvious
There
exceptions.
are a few exceptions to
And
it.
and that being said, if someone were to call me today and be like, "I want you to hop on whatever movie soundtrack," I would do it in a fucking second. Like, don't get me
Well,
wrong.
obviously.
But it's tough for me to really appreciate it musically when
Yeah.
I know it's just kind of for a cash grab, or if it just sounds low quality, more low quality to me.
Yeah,
You know?
I think there's also
Which I can't quite shake.
There's also a difference as somebody who wants to do soundtracks for a
True.
living. There's a difference between like a soundtrack where it's a bunch of different artists pulled together and an actual like a score. Whereas there's
Yeah,
one
for sure.
person, like,
Yeah, those are two
done.
completely separate, different
Yeah,
things.
It's a different
Obviously,
idea, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that Sway Lee and Post Malone song
Yeah,
is off
which
that
came huge.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
movie, right?
Which I think one of them will use it on their next album or something. Like, I think Post Malone had it on.
Yeah, just to get the
Sunflower.
streams.
Yeah.
Sunflower.
Yeah, I heard that on the radio the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, Spider-Man.
Yeah. There was actually one really good.
yeah,
there was a
are
Duckworth song on that one too, actually. With I think like it's either Cordae or Denzel Curry was also on the song with him, and that one actually goes fucking dumb hard.
There are exceptions.
And there are,
Cordae
like-
is just on everything.
They're
Yeah.
good songs.
I'm surprised he didn't make it on the DMX album.
Yeah,
Is
true.
he on the Pop Smoke album?
No.
I would be surprised.
No. We talk about Cordae a little bit. We're off the soundtrack discussion. The Nas Cordae Freddie Gibbs song. I really like it. As someone that doesn't really know much about Nas and hasn't really dived into Nas really, like I think he killed it. I think Cordae held his own. Freddie Gibbs was really good as well. Like, that's a very
it's a crowning achievement
yeah.
for everyone involved, because it's like a song that was like a demo off of like Nas's like second album, where he had like half the verse finished and then like decided to redo it and then get two new guys on
and from two different kind of areas, because Cordae is like new school. He only popped like 2 or 3 years ago. Freddie Gibbs has been around for a while, but is now only popping like in the past 3-4 years as well.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to have those two on a song with someone like a legend like Nas, and to have everyone be like have really good performances on it. Like it's great.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're up against Nas, it's like
you better not fucking phone it in.
You gotta bring your A game. It's like going up with if you're on a song with Kendrick, you gotta fucking bring it.
Yeah, I liked how he also in Nas' second verse he mentioned that fact, and it was kind of more of a freestyle, and then he kind of wove that story in about how it actually came to be.
Yeah,
I really appreciated that.
That's definitely one for the rap nerds out there.
Yeah, some backpack shit, kind of. I don't even know if that's the proper term. I don't really.
Also on the soundtrack tip, like, was that new Mask the Slump God mixtape? Yeah. Was that for some like video game or something?
No, that was just a mixtape.
Oh, I thought it was like Sin City was like some game or something.
No, that was just him. That was the style he wanted to do it in. I guess. Right,
because when I was listening to it, I was like, oh, this would sound great on some video game.
Yeah.
Fucking beating up people.
Similar thing to Vince Staples, how Ski Mask said this one is just to tide people over, and his official album is going to drop Halloween this year. So he says.
Tight.
So that's going to be the more substantial one. This one is kind of just a few tracks here and there, like kind of just being thrown.
Yeah,
Not
Mask the Slump God is a Halloween artist.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like that works for me.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
But this album or this mixtape, well, I was not really that blown away by.
There's a few
being honest.
Standouts to me, but the rest of them are kind of like, yeah, okay, Ski Mask. Like I'm not too like, blown away.
I mean, I only listened to it once, so I really don't have.
Right. To me,
can't speak specifically.
The ones that I'll mention here that I really like are Dr. Seuss, Admit It, and Fire Hazard are like the main three for me. And Mental Magneto is not good, and Merlin's Staff is not good, and the other ones are just kind of, they're okay, but they're nothing too like crazy. Like I don't really.
Man, I wish I could
see myself
remember.
going back.
There's some like obscure cartoon references that he makes that I wish I
he
could
always
remember.
does. Yeah.
But that's one of the things I like Ski Mask for.
Yeah, for sure.
He'll do like a fucking SpongeBob SquarePants reference.
Yeah, some really specific season 2 shit that that is just great. Fucking tickles my teat.
My fancy.
I mean, you've only listened to it once. I've listened to it a few times, but I don't have much to say. And Kenny Beats in one of the beats.
We're just glad to hear.
Ski Mask good to see he's still doing his thing and is okay.
But Ski Mask is definitely for the weirdos out there.
Oh yeah,
he's not like a.
He will
never be. I don't think he will ever really be a mainstream artist. Like,
I agree with you there.
I think that
if you watch anime,
he's sort of
he'll fuck with Ski Mask probably. Like, there's probably a correlation.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on hip hop IG and you follow that and anime pages and meme pages and stuff, then Ski Mask might pop up in your shit. But like, he was probably the biggest when the song, what the fuck was it called? Like, it's mine.
I don't know, man. We're not gonna
Pills
get
on
there.
me blue. Blue. Blue's Clues. Pills
I
on me
don't
blue.
know if I know that one.
Huh. Well, whatever.
I mean, his time to shine was with X, like that. Like they came up together, and that was like when he's probably was at his biggest.
I'm just saying, like, the point is his ceiling seems to be in sort of like zany, like, weirdo SoundCloud style. rap that like that can only like get to a certain
I don't expect
point, like,
Ski Mask to on his next album to drop really some conceptual sing-songy type shit. And I don't want him to
Ski
either.
Mask featuring Doja Cat.
Yeah, no, I don't want him to either. He has a good niche here, and he might not be the biggest rapper ever, but like he's gonna
Ski Mask and Fouché.
Maybe, I don't fucking know, man.
No, it would never happen. He's too weird. Him and Guapdad 4000 need to join forces.
That would be fun. I like that.
That's another Florida thing, right? Or where's Guapdad?
Oakland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. After Ski Mask, I'll talk about Logic for a second. He released like a mixtape, quote unquote, of all of his older releases. Not all of, but like a collection of songs from his mixtapes to streaming services. I think with maybe one or two extra ones that didn't make the mixtapes. So I appreciate that. And I think that satisfies, in terms of his contract, he needs to drop one album and one mixtape with Def Jam in order to be done with it. That counts as his mixtape, I think. And now he's going to drop Bobby Tarantino 3, because it's a bunch of just random banger / like kind of low effort songs. He doesn't have to try that hard. That being said, he's released 3 songs so far for it. The one song called Vaccine is like a banger that is just boring to me. I don't know. It's like because the other two
banger.
Well, because the other two are more like kind of low key, like kind of like guitar driven, like kind of like just party, like late night type of like driving shit. Like it's not really like, they're not trying to like bang. It's not trying to be like a hype track.
Right.
The song Vaccine was trying to be hype, and I just found it super boring and just like he's made better hype songs before. But the other two, Get Up and My Way, are, they're similar to his old Bobby Tarantino shit, and it's kind of low effort. There's not a lot of substance in the lyrics and shit like that, and there's nothing too crazy going on, but it's, it's okay. I don't mind it. Especially now that I know that he's just fulfilling a contract at this point, then I don't really blame him, honestly.
How sad the music industry is.
Yeah, and there was a fucking song on his last album called Perfect, which is a fucking... That one is a banger with no quotation marks on it. And there was going to be a remix with Lil Wayne and A$AP Ferg, which everyone was super excited for, and it did leak for like a day. I listened to it like one time, but I didn't download it, and I can't now. Like you can't find it anywhere. And he specifically said like on Twitter, like, fuck Def Jam, they didn't let me release this shit. Like he's had a bad relationship with them for the past few years. Wow. Probably why he did this whole retirement shtick. I don't know exactly why, but anyway, that's kind of my spiel about Logic. So you talk about Griselda or whatever, I'll fucking do it. I'll do whatever.
So you think that's it for Logic? He's gonna kill himself?
Yeah. He's going to do 1-800 part 2, okay? He's going to be like, wait, killing yourself is cool. You're going to see a mass suicide, fucking...
That'd be sick. He started like a Jim Jones style.
Yeah, a la Jim Jones. Yeah, exactly.
That'd be dope. If all the Logic fans killed themselves.
That'd be dope if all the Logic fans killed themselves.
Anyway, moving on.
It's crazy.
That's the title of the episode.
Let's lighten the mood with some Big Sean.
Okay.
I really enjoyed that song.
It's very cool that he did that, because I don't think anyone has done that, where they reflected on their XXL freshman thing.
Yeah, the freshman thing happens, and then they...
Hopefully that's not the biggest point of their career, and then they
and they forget like
bigger.
half the people that were on there, because like, it's funny how he even mentions in the song about how like some of us, like their careers went in different directions, and some we aren't as known as like OJ the Juice Man is not as
like
known.
Pill, I think, was someone there that fucking who's Pill? Like, no one, there's also J-Rock and fucking Nipsey Hussle and J.Cole, like they're
But it's just cool. I mean, these are one of these things where we were talking about how Big Sean has more positive outlook, and his perspective fits with doing a track like this, where he reflects on his career and how he started off like building relationships with other rappers and stuff as he was he went through a tough time, like as he was, other people in his life were going off to school and he was still like pursuing his dream,
not feeling like as successful as he should be, and then
which was a nice little like insight to get into someone's life,
I would like to see more rappers, honestly, like touch upon maybe like one from each year, just go like someone from 2011 talks about that shit, like I think it's an interesting perspective that they don't talk about a lot,
and just how much like everything's changed since like 2010.
Going for the Big Sean song, the Lil Yachty one we just listened to before while we were setting up, kind of like a not pop punky, but kind of like a slow summery love song.
I love my Conan style music.
And I fuck with it. You know, I always appreciate Yachty doing, kind of go back to his roots with the whole melodic shit. So I'm always here for that. And Josh actually said that you didn't mind it either.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm not a fan of Lil Yachty in his rap stuff, but I did like this.
yeah, it's basic. It's kind of cutesy. It's not the lyrics aren't really anything, but it's a vibe. So
Throw that one on at the beach party, at the
Yeah.
pool party, at the cookout.
okay, when have you ever been to a cookout?
I have been to a pot roast.
Okay,
Not exactly a
that's the
cookout.
white version of cookouts, probably.
I've been to a potluck.
Yeah, potluck is for sure the white people cookout. Ty Dolla $ign, Mac Miller Division. I love this song.
Yeah, me too.
This is exactly what I wanted on Ty Dolla $ign's last album. Like this type of instrumental, him singing this fucking this graciously. I don't know if that's the proper term, but on this type of beat, like this is exactly what I wanted from him.
Yeah, definitely not graciously.
Well,
Bad word choice.
I don't know. Like he's
No, but I know what you mean. Like,
he's hitting some high notes that really, really work for him and this song and this beat.
right, like he's putting more on the line.
Yeah.
Than because his last album was a lot more trying to have
Trap
like a
influence and pop
radio-friendly,
shit and yeah.
Stuff that mixes
Yeah.
different elements. He also gets more personal about his life
Yeah.
than on the album as much.
Yeah.
I guess. Mac Miller, great to hear from him.
Hearing Mac in 2021, like, what, 3 years after he passed is
It's already
a treat.
It's already
2018.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a treat to hear him now, and knowing that the song was all done beforehand, like it was, I think maybe 75% of it was done when he was still alive. Yeah, he has some great lines, some sad lines, and, you know, that's how it is. Great to hear Mac.
Yeah.
Division, I don't know them. I think they're from Toronto. Him or them, I don't know if it's a group or whatever, but I like the vocals. Some of his refrains were good.
Yeah.
And I think I was listening to New Rory and Mall podcast. They have their new podcast. And they had Division on the phone. Division on the phone. And he was saying that Ty Dolla $ign and Division are going to have a whole collab project. And this is the first single.
Oh, cool.
So I like this one a lot. I might listen to that one. So we'll see.
Continuing to roll through these fucking new tracks.
Yeah, goddamn. That's one of my favorite tracks of the year, maybe. I'll say that much.
Disappointing kind of track. I didn't really like the Brent Faiyaz Drake thing that much.
It's okay. It's too long. It's like 5 minutes. I didn't need it that much. I wasn't mad at Drake's verse. Brent Faiyaz was pretty good as a singer, but I'm not still super convinced on him yet. You know?
Maybe when the Brent Faiyaz album comes out, we'll dig into that topic. But
Neptune's beat, Pharrell and Chad Hugo. It's okay. Like, it's not
because
super
the
spectacular.
art was reminiscent of a previous.
Yeah.
That
And they're
makes
kind of
sense.
coming back. They're like producing more with more people. I think there was some, on the IDK album. There was also Neptune's produced beat there, so they're kind of coming back together, which is cool. I mean, it's not too crazy of a song. The Brent Faiyaz and Drake one, wasting time. A lot of toxic masculinity fucking thrown throughout, which I can appreciate, I suppose, but a little too much. I think the song was a little much, a little too long to me. So that's where I
Brent
stick with
Faiyaz
that.
is definitely up next.
Yeah,
Well, like
Yeah,
having
people
a
are talking
song
about
with,
him,
having
fuck.
a song with Drake like
yeah,
brings you to a different level.
yeah. And then Tyler, you got Tyler as well, and the other one who is also a pretty big star now. So
Yeah.
that's also nothing to fuck with. Boz, J.Cole, Lil Tjay song. J.Cole's the best part of the song. The hook is catchy as hell. Maybe it goes on for a little bit too long. But Boz and Lil Tjay are serviceable verses, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I don't really like Lil Tjay. To be
Cool
honest.
summery beat. You know, it's a vibe, but nothing too crazy.
That's just kind of one you put out in the summer
Yeah,
for fun.
yeah. Get the
You got
views up.
them wearing hockey jerseys.
But we'll talk about, maybe on the next podcast, but on maybe the one after, we'll talk about what we think are the songs of the summer this year. Because we talked about that in one of the earlier episodes of our podcast, but we can go through
Right.
which ones are our picks for this year.
That'd be a fun one.
Yeah,
The vinyl
something we
of
can
the
do
day-
together
Vinyl of the day is Childish Gambino Camp. You
for
know?
no reason at all, really.
No, because it's the summertime.
Yeah, oh, true. Post Malone song.
Did
Did you hear this one? Where he's trying to do his best Playboi
Annoying.
Carti impression. Oh, I like it a lot.
I don't like it at all.
It started off being like, this is fucking weird, and then I heard it like 3 more times, and I'm like, yeah, man.
See, I'm still on that
fuck with
weird.
that.
I'm still on the fucking weird stage of this.
Yeah, no, it's catchy as fuck. If he goes in a little bit more trappier direction, like the single suggests, then I might listen to my first full length Pop Smoke, fucking Post Malone album. We'll see.
Wow. Yo, we got Slowburn on the phone.
What's up, Slowburn? You're live on the Rapcast. And
Rapcast.
by live, I mean I can edit it out completely.
Episode 19.
20.
20.
Episode 20. Wow, landmark episode. Brad, don't screw up here.
I'll do my best, bro, but can you hear me good?
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
No, we got you.
Turn up your ears, old man.
Okay, now sound off on Pop Smoke.
We don't really listen to Pop Smoke here. We both heard the Kanye and Pusha T song, and that's it. We don't really know much about Pop Smoke. What can you tell us about this new album?
Alright, first off, Pop Smoke, R.I.P. I've been listening to it a little bit the past few days. It sounds very Pop Smoke-ish, but like all the popular songs, if you listen to that on Spotify, the whole album sounds mostly like that. But it's 20 songs, and there's, I think, 21 different features. I think there's 2 Pusha T features, and only 5 of the 20 tracks don't have a feature, and at least one of those is just his mother talking.
Ooh. That's a little troubling for a posthumous album. If you have to fill it with features... is also Dua Lipa featured on this album?
Yeah, that's one that...
never would have happened.
It sounds almost like a remix, but I don't hate it. I don't hate the album at all. To be clear here, most of it I actually like. It's nothing that's gonna last forever, in my opinion. But the whole thing with posthumous albums, to me, is if you have to fill it out with features, it's just exploitive, however the fuck you say it.
Exploitative.
Yes, thank you, buddy Alex. But that was one of the big things I was worried about when I heard about the Mac Miller posthumous album with Circles.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, is this just going to be a whole everybody's trying to just get a Mac Miller feature type deal? But that one wasn't. It seemed like it was a completed Mac Miller project that they're like, this is completed, we should put it out for him. There might be a few little musical cues or whatever that need polishing.
And that's the posthumous albums that I'm generally okay with, where it's if it was at least 75% done when they were alive, then I'm generally okay with it. It obviously depends on some features and stuff, but...
with the people that he's tight with, you know, that understand his vision with it.
Yeah. And with Pop Smoke, from what I have garnered just from online shit, is that a lot of the people that were close to him didn't really appreciate some of the changes that were made. Apparently there was a bunch of beat changes that were made after he died, and a bunch of features that he didn't know of, so that kind of rubs me the wrong way.
I'm hearing that the industry kind of raped this album, or turned it into something it wasn't supposed to be.
Does not surprise me at all that that's the opinion. Like I said, it sounds very Pop Smoke-ish, so all the beats are I feel like I've heard them. There's a few that...
Well, it's a very distinctive style.
I'm no Pop Smoke expert, but
that's what we called you, isn't it?
A little bit different than the mainstream shit that's, there's one, I think, with Pharrell that has a interesting beat.
Okay.
There's one with Kid Cudi that I don't know if it's so much different, but Pop Smoke is a lot of 808s.
Yeah, well, the New York drill sound is very, like Alex was saying, is a very distinct sound. And I'm curious, was this the same kind of treatment that his first posthumous album got? Was it also kind of felt like a little bit some shit was tacked on?
That's the crazy thing, is we're two posthumous albums into this, so it's
I think...
What
was the first one more completed before he passed? Was it more of a complete project? I don't know.
I'm not a Pop Smoke expert.
Hang up.
What was the first one? Was the first posthumous one Shoot for the Stars?
I don't even know.
That's what it was called.
Yeah. I have listened to that one, and That one's got decent amount of features still, but mostly looks like it's mostly his shit there.
And from people that he may have collaborated with, like Quavo and like people that were in his camp.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
So yeah, like if I just go through this one track by track, Good News. That's his mom introducing the album. More Time is, I think, a pretty short track, but it's okay. Tell the Vision.
That Kanye, I think I said it was a Kanye song.
It sounds weird to me. Pop Smoke and Kanye, that doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't really...
Same with Kanye and X. Well, that one song I did like.
Pusha T has that bar where he's like, Tyler got Album of the Year, but Pop Smoke dropping now, and then Pusha dropping soon or some shit like that. So maybe we get more Pusha T coming.
I'm excited for Pusha T.
Which would be pretty dope.
Yeah,
but,
I think the main.
That is a little interesting bit where he's like, "Oh, Tyler got Album of the Year."
That's respects.
So far,
but that's a cool little shout out to Tyler.
Yeah, I think the general consensus that this album isn't really that bad, but like it should be the last one.
You can't have three.
That makes sense.
But the thing is, I think Juice WRLD's gonna have like probably 5, man. Like they're gonna fucking like milk the shit. Like they're like some artists are just gonna be milked, and that's how you have to fucking. That's just how it goes.
Doesn't Juice WRLD have like years of freestyles?
He has thousands of songs that are unreleased that could be ready to go. Like they're gonna fucking. I imagine. Yeah. I don't know who's in charge of his estate necessarily, but like I can only see many more Juice WRLD albums to come, or features randomly, or I don't think there's going to be a lack of Juice WRLD music in the next few years.
Okay, Brad, we're going to wrap this up soon.
We've been partying for like an hour and a half.
Do you have any other... What are your thoughts on Vince Staples?
Yeah. Oh, Vince Staples?
We were kind of saying, like, sure it's low-key, it's low energy, but it's still high quality. Are you with us?
That's a great statement there by Buddy Alex.
This Vince Staples kind of reminded me of Earl a little bit, Earl Sweatshirt, but that was just a minor impression, I guess.
As a kind of a low effort rapper as well, how do you in terms of your delivery?
It sounds like a
it sounds like a diss, but in terms of your delivery, how do you stand?
It's true. I respect it. It's kind of like it does give me a bit of confidence in like knowing that there is a way to do it right, and to just like let myself find my way with it with delivery. I also want to like improve on different things. Like I know Vince is a good lyricist too. Like he's got tons of great fucking rhymes and bars. Like I'm terrible with lyrics and shit, but I know that that's the truth. But I did want to say one more thing about this Pop Smoke is sometimes it seems like it's mixed or whatever, not mixed. Like he has a verse and then it's like half a verse and sort of a hook, and then they just repeat it somewhere else later on in the song. And I think that's a low effort.
Yeah, that leaves a bad taste in the mouth for sure.
But also, I think there's one where he does like they just reused some bars. Like they seemed like filler bars from a song he had before on from the Hello featuring a Boogie with the Hoodie song.
Right.
Okay.
Yo, one last thing. The new Slowburn solo song.
Oh.
Do you want to announce it? We're still doing the finishing touches as the Facile Ave crew.
Yeah. But
me and you.
There's definitely new Slowburn tracks in the works. The one, Joint and Rosary, almost finished. I won't give away too much, but I think you're gonna like it a lot. And shout out Facile Ave. We're gonna be dropping soon enough, hopefully.
Exciting stuff.
Survived COVID-19.
Survived a car crash. Next thing you know, I'll survive a plane crash.
He's spitting now.
Now you're doing introspective raps?
I'm taking off, taking flight.
Alright, speaking of...
That's how you know.
Hey, we respect you.
Crash, okay?
Yeah, dog. Alright.
We're gonna let you take off as well, because we still got a few songs to talk about here.
Alright.
And I have to pee very badly.
Say bye to the Rapcast.
See ya to all you Rapcast followers. Stay
All right,
tuned.
good.
They doing good things. They doing big things.
Yeah. All right, thanks, man. Slow burn. Okay. That was pretty funny.
That was 10 minutes out of our life.
Okay, real fucking quick. IDK album I listened to. It was the first time.
I don't like IDK.
It sounds a lot like Kanye. I'm surprised about that. He's kind of like a Kanye light to me. Like his voice is very and he's very Kanye influenced. There's a good chunk of the album that I do like. The first half isn't very good. There are some great introspective tracks. There's some good tracks with good features. He has one song with West Side Gun, MF Doom, and fucking J Electronica.
That's the one I listened to,
that
and I was like, I hate this.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like
this.
That
This is
one.
a musical abortion.
Yeah, MF
where
Doom
it doesn't
was like
sound
2 bars,
right at all.
Like, yeah, no, I don't like that one.
And also the features that they advertise are so underutilized as well.
J Electronica having anti-vax bars is just fucking.
Well, Electronica is the only one that actually has a verse.
West Side Gun has a verse at the start,
but it's very
short. And MF Doom has like 4 lines.
They're used very sparingly.
Yeah,
It just seemed like kind of a clickbait to advertise this as a song with all 4 of them.
Yeah,
when really,
that's fair.
I just don't like IDK, and I don't like how everyone acts like we should all know who this guy is. Or
I respect him enough, and after this album, I understand part of the hype. There are some songs that obviously aren't great, and there's some moments that are like, okay, you know, whatever. He's not the most lyrical guy. He
seems like a Russ to me, you know.
I can see that argument. He does have a kind of a crazy ego, but like, I don't know. I don't really mind with him to an extent.
All right.
Anyway, Kevin Abstract Slow Tie Snot song is the last song we'll talk about. Called Slugger. Banger. They all kill it.
Who's this Snot guy? I don't know if
he kind of
him.
started popping a little bit last year, and I listened to a few of his tracks from last year. And I fuck with his sound. He's kind of similar to Kota the Friend in a way where he has a specific style of music, and he doesn't seem like he has a specific like kind of flow, and like he doesn't really go beyond that. But that's okay enough for him. Like it still serves him well, and he's good on features, and he has some good solo songs as well that I've been fucking with. So
I'll say that the slow tie
I've been keeping up with him a little bit.
The slow tie was the part that jumped out at me from that song.
Slow tie killed it
more than anyone else.
Yeah,
really.
Beat change was crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Overall solid track.
Yeah, I like Kevin Abstract's part a lot. There are some parts where he kind of just seems like he's mumbling or whatever, which seem a little bit low effort to me. But overall, I appreciate where he's coming from, and this also probably means the Kevin Abstract album coming out this year. I think he's talked about. So
he's back on his hype game, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Other than that, we've been going at it for a long time.
We've been going on it for an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, so we're gonna peace off. Rapcast episode 20, baby. Fucking check us out.
West Side, till I die.
We in it.
SF.
Oh, Josh, show off your tattoo real quick.
Oh, fuck, yeah. SF gang, baby. Hold on.
I'll tell you if you hope.
So many thoughts occupy my mind. I wade through them one at a time. Quiet meditation, silence is the medication. Honestly, coming close on occasion, but mostly it's honesty.